What is going on, guys? Blink here, back with a new guide. So in this guide, we'll be more focused on utilizing your utilities and we'll have much less fighting. Also, the V-Bucks giveaway is still going on, so make sure to visit the link in the description to enter. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as opposed to Amazon gift card code in the comments every time I upload. By turning on notifications, you'll have a way better chance of getting here first and redeeming that code. Anyways, guys, let's get to this guide. One thing I want to mention is that I use the word jump pad instead of launch pad, as I've gotten so used to saying it. So if you guys hear jump pad, it's just a launch pad. So in this example, the safe zone has changed, but I still had a jump pad, so I never had to worry. When you've got a jump pad, you'll have more time to pressure your opponents if needed. So what I'll try to do most of the time is place a bunch of traps around my jump pad, just in case there's someone that you don't know about that tries taking it. Now, how I set it up was one on a floor and a few inside my fort, just in case a player can see the one on the floor and thinks he spotted my only trap. So what ended up happening was the opponent I was fighting actually ended up using my jump pad and took some nice damage in the end. He ended up jumping into the fort and healed up a little bit and took the jump pad. Now, I'm not sure how much he's healed up, but I was able to put some damage onto him when he jump padded. He forted up beside a few trees and I tried to stop him from healing by constantly shooting his materials as I got closer. Remember to add jumps and stay mobile when shooting materials. You don't want to crouch and stand still as you're more vulnerable. Now, he was able to get off 2 minis in the process of me shooting his materials. Once again, it's my best chance of pushing him as he's taking some big damage initially. I was able to eliminate him in the end and got pretty close to dying myself. Now, one quick tip about the wall and the stairs. If you're using floors to maneuver your way around and you're ready to peek, then place a wall and a stairs down quickly on your floors. It stops your forward momentum and sets you up for a peek. Just another explanation on why I use walls and stairs after maneuvering with floors. So about what I said at the start of the guide about more time pressuring opponents. Well, in this situation, we were close to endgame, so the storm was hitting fairly hard. We decided to pressure these opponents and see if we could keep them in the storm long enough, as the storm was ticking for around 2 HP per second. Now, this player had his building mats out the whole time, so I wasn't getting pressured back. After the knock, I went for the jump pad out and let my teammate know. Right after jump padding, my teammate was actually able to eliminate the second opponent. Now, a few things to take from this example is to pressure opponents close to the storm if you've got a jump pad. Now, the last major tip is if you do end up getting stuck in the storm, then make sure you place the right materials when jump padding, which is a simple staircase and a floor. A lot of players panic and try adding a floor and the game's not allowing them. The reason for not being able to sometimes add floors is because of the uneven ground. You can even see my staircase was pretty deep inside the ground. Now, the good thing is no matter where you are, the stairs will always show up at least a little bit, so you'll be able to place your floor down no problem. Just a quick helpful tip just in case you panic when you're in the storm. Now, let's continue this example because I'll be mentioning campfires. So after boxing yourself in, reload your weapons, and after you've reloaded them, don't start dancing around your teammates. Instead, choose a wall and use the edit tool to spot for your opponents, just so you can gather a little bit of information on anything around you. Your teammates can each choose a wall and do the same. This will allow you guys to spot any opponents from outside your box without being exposed, resulting in maybe catching an opponent in the distance. Now, some people don't know this, but use your jump pad to jump into the safe zone. If you notice yourself being pretty far from the safe zone, then build up to allow yourself to jump pad in. Now, try not to overbuild or underbuild too much. You don't want to build to where you're able to jump pad to the middle of the safe zone, simply because you're at a higher risk of getting your materials shot out. You want to plan to where you just make it in. The more you use the jump pad, the better estimations you'll be able to make. Now, you also at least want to double staircase it up to have a better chance of placing down a jump pad, just in case you start getting shot at. You can also get your teammates to place down another double staircase for a total of 4 layers of stairs, which would add a lot of support, because as you guys know, anyone shooting at your stairs have to shoot down all 4 stairs to collapse your structure. I recommend you guys use brick or steel to build your stairs, as wood is pretty weak. Now, if you only basically have wood, then make sure you're double staircasing it up if you're playing solos, and quadruple staircasing it if you're playing duos or squads. The last thing you want to do is die with every good weapon possible. Now, one last tip is jump pad placement. My favorite way of placing jump pads is behind your stairs. It's a much quicker placement than placing them at the top of your stairs with floors. You also avoid any players looking directly at your stairs spotting your jump pad, especially if you haven't built that high. They might just think it was a staircase that was used in a fight, which might result in them dying to the storm if they are inside it. So think ahead of what this jump pad trick can do to your opponents. So this next trap example is perfect if you don't want to give up any players your leftover loot. If you've eliminated an opponent and grabbed everything you need, then bait players into grabbing your loot. You can do this by creating a box, then adding a trap on the ceiling, and then opening all 4 sides by editing the middle and the bottom 3 squares. It actually works quite well. I usually do this if I leave any sort of legendary weapons that I don't need. Players run right through to pick it up and get eliminated by your trap. Now, utilizing jump pads and traps. If you do end up placing a jump pad on top of your stairs, then add a trap beside it, just in case an opponent tries using it. So this wasn't my jump pad, but if you do have extra jump pads and you're hungry for some kills, then use one of them to spot some opponents. I was able to get 3 kills because of this jump pad. Tag an opponent and then go for the jump on him. Super useful to catch players trying to run and heal. So this new spray painting feature can actually be used to your advantage. You can place them on vending machines, which won't allow any nearby players to see the items. Super cheeky way of tilting other opponents, and potentially can can mess up their game by spraying vending machines with medicals. Now, the spraying method is not done yet because you can spray paint to your fighting advantage. Placing spray paints on traps will camouflage your traps somewhat well. Now, the issue is you can't have more than 3 sprays on one trap, so you'll need a friend to place 3 of his sprays on the trap too. Basically, you need to choose one of your best placed traps and spray it down. Now, I'm not 100% sure which sprays will work best, but you'd have to find better colored sprays, probably ones that look more like the ground you're placing them on. Now, if you're playing squads, you can probably place a bunch of sprays around the trap. That way your opponent thinks it's just a room full of sprays. This can probably catch a lot of players off if you can hide that trap pretty well. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to patch both of these methods of using the sprays, but use them to your advantage as much as you can. Now, the spray method is more for fun, but you might be able to use it seriously in game, I guess, depending on how well you figure it out. Well guys, that's it for this guide. Hopefully I've helped some people out, and a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated as it does help me a lot. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you on the next one.